And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Grade A Power Plays. It's your boy Grade A Fantasy. I am back. It was a fun weekend. Definitely did a lot of betting over the weekend, but I was busy. Couldn't really put up a show because I was busy taking care of a couple of things. And like I said, I was busy taking care of I think playing the slate Friday, and I was getting NASCAR lineup ready. But just a little recap of how my weekend went. Yes, I did make sure I got a whole lot of that LA Sharks beat down. And then I think it was earlier that day or the day before, got some Batherson shots on goal, shot ladders and stuff like that. Dylan Cousins shot, Dylan Strome Ovechkin points, some chicken shot ladders. Very profitable weekend. Let's keep it going and let's see what we can do today. First and foremost, I already did a lot of betting. Some lines have already been confirmed. So I'm going to check on a couple of we'll start with some of the games that I got like a few bets on, then we'll do the games that I'm focused on last. Some line combinations and goalies have just been confirmed. I was waiting for some Washington combinations, so I'm glad that came through. Important news, I'm not too sure who got scratched. Not too sure, but somebody from their minor league team, Ryan Leonard, will be joining the second line. He'll be on there with Strome and Protas. Strome and Protas do have some decent numbers together. Strome has been the center on top line with Protas to his right while Ovechkin's to his left. The top line in this game will now be Dubois. I had a feeling they was going to switch. That's why I don't want to do nothing yet. It's now Dubois, Alex Ovechkin, and Tom Wilson on the right side. Protas was up there on the top line, but he was also with Strome. They keep him with Strome, which is why I like this prop. This pair together is almost plus 200. Strome and Protas, like I said, they've had good numbers on line one, just line two. And the only difference is instead of playing to his right, Protas is now to his left. And Protas' point by himself is plus 126. Before we continue into this matchup, let's just go over one important thing. Eight of the top 12 teams in penalty minutes are all on this slate. So we will be in on some power plays. In this game, I just got a couple props. Protas, I got Chikrin with a mini ladder. It has to be a mini ladder. They only let you go up to 4 with Chikrin. So if you're looking for more shots on goal, possibly he does have 5 upside. You're going to have to go to DK for that one. But 4 shots on goal is plus 325. I got Dubois, Wilson, Strome, Carlson for power play points. Ovechkin's all the way down to plus 175. I mean, you could take it if you want, but not really needed. But the power play is, once again, 2 people on the top line, 2 people on the second line. You got Strome and Wilson. Actually, no, the top line is fully correlated. Dubois, Tom Wilson, and Ovechkin, and then you have Strome, and then, of course, John Carlson. So, and then there goes the Chikrin point right there. If we look at the shots, well, not the shots, but if you look at the points, it's Strome. No, sorry, I keep saying Strome. It's Dubois, Wilson, Ovechkin. If you're interested in doing that, that's plus 175, but more value with the definitely more value with the Strome and Protas point by itself. In this game, you got Boston. I'm taking the power play points because you got Boston, who's second in penalty minutes, and also didn't really notice it was that bad, but not a good penalty kill. Second in penalty minutes behind the next team we'll talk about, and they're currently on an 8-game losing streak. Boston has a lot of trouble generating. Now, Washington's not the best defensive team. They look good because when their goalie stops all the pucks behind them. But when the goalie's not doing that, they could be had. But Boston has a tough time generating. I think Washington tries to keep their top seeding and pretty much pound on Boston in Boston. Like I said, not getting too crazy with the combos, but the power play is definitely doable. I like Chikrin to generate as usual. And there you go on that side. For the next game that I have listed up, we have... What is going on here? There we go. For the next game I want to talk about, I have a few props, but it's not really a big focus. I do like Buffalo and Ottawa. Ottawa has just been great defensively. And now they're going to be even better defenders because, one, they're at home, and Ullmark is the goalie now. Reimer is once again going to be the goalie for Buffalo. Like I said, down the stretch, he's just playing way better than Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. So with that being said, Reimer has definitely, Reimer has done a fine job at goalie, especially now when you compare to Ukko-Pekka, UPL, it's not really saying much, but at least when you put Reimer, they have a chance to win the game. If he's not giving up 2, he's giving up 3. He's not getting his ass kicked or his head caved in like Uka would, and, Buffalo would have the chance to, at least compete. But Ottawa has solidly just become a better defensive team. Now, here's the one thing I'm just going to give everybody a heads up on. I will be fading this guy for the rest of the year. He has not been right since that All-Star break and the World Tournament over their long All-Star break. He's definitely playing with an injury. I will not be having Brady Tkachuk. As for that line itself, if you want, you can go Giroux and Stützle. I think Giroux's plus money, but we're gonna go Cousins, Perron. Perron has been scoring as of late, and now that they gave us all 3, I'm definitely going to use all 3 as an option. Perron is good for a one-off, plus 202 with Cousins. Perron and Batherson plus 174. Perron by himself plus 108, so it gives the line value because there goes the Cousins point, Batherson power play. Buffalo is the number 1 giving up in minutes on the power play. Like I said, 8 of the top 12 teams. In the top 12, out of the top 12 in minutes, 8 of them are playing tonight. So we're going to be talking about power plays a lot. But like I said, I won't be taking Tkachuk. Tkachuk has nice odds. I think he's right there between Sanderson and Stützle. I just didn't take him. Batherson, once again, in his last 5, in the last 5 games, 4 of the last 5, Batherson has had 4 shots on goal or higher. So once again, another mini shot ladder with Batherson plus 375 for 4 shots. There goes the good old Batherson-Cousins line at plus 145. Yes, it's starting to get to that price down territory because when I took this last night, it was one of the first shot props that was out there. I mean, point props. And Cousins didn't, it wasn't like he opened that plus and then I didn't get it and then they moved it. No, they finally started him negative money. I think he started at minus 105. But it's that line 2. Once again, it's another set of line 2s that are just producing more. They moved up Zetterlund because he's more of a shooter like Tkachuk, and Tkachuk is now on line 3, but Tkachuk is definitely playing with an injury, so offensive output and generation definitely goes to this second line, and Perron has fit in well since he's come back off injury, so definitely love the way he's playing. In the last 10 games, or basically it's been about 10, 11, maybe 12 games now, about that, since Dylan Cousins has joined Ottawa, and Perron has 6 points, Cousins has 7, and Batherson has 10. So there's just upside on that second line. So I'm all over Ottawa 2 in this game, and his plus 2.5, his 2.5 is probably still plus 144. So I'm taking that as well. Let's get to the next game that I'm keeping an eye on, and we'll just go to the cover sheet. Let's go right to it. Montreal, my favorite play. Montreal has amazingly, if you haven't been paying attention to hockey this season, surprisingly, it's not that Montreal has been playing well and they're making a playoff push. Montreal is going for the season sweep, and they've done an amazing job playing against against Florida. So in this game, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to correlate that full line. Caufield Slafkovsky plus 152 because it's mainly these 2 guys. Now, I'm going based, the first game was back in if I'm not mistaken, before New Year's. But they've played each other twice within the past 2 weeks. So, playing new version of, Seth Jones and now Marchand, they played both versions and they've solidly played. And lately, Florida has had trouble generating some offense. And once again, Florida's third in penalty minutes was 722, right there, 80% penalty kill. But guess what? You got Montreal on the opposite side at 8th with about the same percentage of penalty kill. But right now, Montreal's playing better hockey. So Cole, it's all about Montreal 1, plus 152. Cole and Slafkovsky. Suzuki and Slafkovsky, plus 121. And you got Cole and Suzuki, plus 103. You would think that combo by now, if you even try to put that combo to now, you wouldn't even get plus money, but just for the hell of it, I put it there. Lane Hudson, I know it's probably going to be a little spotty. I had to go 2 assists. He does have a couple of games against these teams, against Florida, with 2 assists, with 5-on-5, with power play opportunity. So I'm going to take a risk there at plus 520. We could go into the game a little bit to see if did at least his point go to plus money, because his a point and assists weren't plus money, so I had to take this instead. I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe an assist was just about even money, so I might take that for the hell of it. But yeah, Line A always does solidly on the power play against Florida this season, plus 340. The power play odds for Montreal are great. Everything is 300 except for Lane Hudson and Nick Suzuki at plus 195. Let's take a look at these points. And if let me see, yeah, Lane Hudson for a point is minus 136, and that's still a bit too high for the assist, because now it's minus 113. So it's gotten worse. So if you parlay it with one of these guys, whatever, you'll get plus money. But taking the Lane Hudson point, Lane Hudson assist is not going to work. So I'm going to have to take Lane Hudson for 2 assists, which is capable, because they could do it 5-on-5. They could do it 5-on-5, and like I said, get opportunities on the power play. Because in the last 2 games that they played, I think Montreal has 4 power play goals against this Florida team. Next game we'll be looking into, I don't think there's any combination set yet. Like I said, Utah has been juggling their lines. The next game that I do want to pay attention to is Calgary at Utah. Calgary on the back-to-back, coming from gutsy. It was a gutsy win, shootout win against Colorado. Now they're on the road, heading out a little bit more west to Utah. Vladar should be in net. But here's another game that another team is looking for the series sweep. In the previous 2 games, Utah's always scoring 5. So their team total, so it's pretty much safe to bet with that kind of defense, with the way Utah's playing right now, with that team, you're looking at possibly another series sweep. I'm definitely, and with Calgary. Utah's another team that's in the top 7, but the penalty kill is way better. Calgary is 4th in penalty minutes, but with damn near sub 75 penalty kill. And in those 2 games, in the 2 games that they played earlier this season with them scoring 5, we definitely have without a doubt another great power play spot. So I haven't put anything yet, but in my notes, because that's the one thing I do like, I can always save it for later. Power play odds, when they're set, they're not moved. They either remove the player, or, like I said, once in a while they might add somebody. So the power play up top: Smoltz, Cooley, Genther, Sergachev, Keller. Plus 175, jumps all the way up to plus 240, plus 250, 290, and then you have Sergachev, who is rocking an even 300. I would definitely like that. You could also take the power play on the opposite side too, because like I said, Utah is 7th in the entire league. No, 5th with 710 minutes, right at 80%. But when it comes to the point combos, with the way the line is now, like I said, Utah's been moving some stuff around. Now Cooley is up with, now that Cooley was on the top line and he was playing with Keller and Smoltz, now they have now made it. They probably did this the last game and they're sticking with it, because that line was just confirmed a little while ago. It is now, and I'm going to take some combos from here, it is now Logan Cooley, Clayton Keller, and Genther on the top line, while Hayton and Schmaltz are on the second line. So yes, Keller, their best player. I say Dylan Gunther's their best player. Keller's to some the best player, because, you know, he's been playing at, you know, a high level even when the team is bad, and he's been there for a few years. But with these kind of combinations, instantly we got the good old combo. It's been a while since they've been together. We'll definitely get Cooley and Genther on this combo here, plus 135. It's been a while since I did that. I think Keller's point props may be a tad too high. I don't think we're going to get plus money for that. Nope. We're not going to get anything for that. So Cooley and Genther will be back. I haven't done that combo in a while, even though you could do it because they're power play correlated, but now they're line correlated and power play correlated. And other than that, they don't really have much. I mean, Hayton and Schmaltz are here. Schmaltz on the second line. Hayton's been shooting a lot, plus he's plus 112. Plus 171 is good right there if you want that on the second line, but no power play correlation because Hayton's on the second line. And then, like I said, I already did the research earlier. Power play odds don't move. Like I said, you're definitely going to be liking Sergachev. Like I said, the power play opportunity is there. They're looking for the season sweep, and I think they get it. But right there, definitely good to say that we can get Cooley and Ginther back together again. All three of them on the same line, Keller, Gunther, Cooley, is plus 174 because of the big odds on Keller. So for what you get for three people, you could get for Schmaltz and Hayton. So that's just showing you the value of that prop. And to end the day, obviously these are two Western teams. I am a little bit hesitant to even get on this game because I think there could be some line movement. So now, early in the year, you know that I've played a whole ton of Anaheim 1. It's all about Anaheim 1. But lately, within the last 10, maybe even 12 games, that Anaheim 1 line has not done anything. In the last 10 games, Anaheim 1 is literally responsible for only, I mean, it's still something, but compared to what they was doing earlier, it's a complete opposite. In 10 games, Vetrano has 3 points. Strome has 3 points. You know he doesn't shoot, so it's all 3 assists. And Troy Terry has 4. Altogether now, line 2, Leo Carlson, Cutter Gauthier, and Killorn, they have almost 30 points altogether. So, once again, another line 2 seems to be stepping up. I have not picked any props for this as of yet because I'm curious to see if they do some moving around. And the one thing that kind of took me off, I wonder if they did add him. I hope they did, but I don't think they did. I don't see him. I am really shocked that somebody like Trevor Zegras is not on. Like, he's one of their main guys. He's down on the third line, and the Zegras, Colangelo, Trevor Zegras, McTavish, Sam Colangelo. I knew Colangelo was going to be on there, so this is definitely something you should take advantage on FanDuel. Because after the top line has cooled off, the middle six has been on fire. On fire. It's been so much on fire that the second power play unit has produced better than the top power play unit. And it's a bad power play unit regardless. But it's an amazing power play matchup. 632 minutes for San Jose. I think they're 7th in the league, if I'm not mistaken. No, San Jose is 12th. You have Anaheim, who's 10th. So this is a game that can have some ruckus. And another high-scoring party here. Nothing's confirmed yet. 2 West teams, and they're the last game of the night, if I'm not mistaken. No, they're not the last game of the night. The last game of the night is the Winnipeg game in Los Angeles. I don't think there's been anything confirmed yet for either squad. But like I said, the way Anaheim's been playing, I would like to just say wait on this. They could do something where they move the lines together or maybe switch somebody up. But I think they like with the way everything is now, and then with them being at home, I think they like sending the Strome line. I forgot. I think it's the Leo Carlson line they like to use as the shutdown line. But the top line will get whatever matchup, and then the middle six is pretty much going to get all the better matchups. So even if Strome, Vetrano were looking good with Terry, even though they have not, it's the middle six that you like. Obviously, on the San Jose side, you know, it's very limited options. You're pretty much going to stick with, you know, Celebrini, Toffoli on the top line. That's if it stays that way. Like I said, this is not, they haven't played, they played each other twice early, October and early November. So Anaheim is not the firepower that Los Angeles has, but this team is going to see a less skilled, and, you know, they weren't great defensively, but they're still bad power play, penalty kill, giving up a lot of penalties, and it's just less of a defensive resistance. So if we're looking at Anaheim, like I said, it's something that I would like to wait for. But if they keep it for the first time ever, I might leave the Strome, Vetrano, Terry alone. Obviously, it's going to suck if they score. But what sucks even more is that, yes, McTavish is -1 to 70. but Zegras probably would have had some decent odds, and Trevor Zegras is not here. So on FanDuel side, we're going to have to focus on the middle line, and that is the Killorn, Carlson, Cutter, Gauthier. So Killorn, Cutter, Gauthier, the odds are great. Both are plus money. Carlson minus 132. All of them together is damn near plus 400. Is exactly plus 373. And that's been the hottest line. The mid-six has played great, but that line has been damn near amazing. They are generating, and they're actually making the first penalty unit. They're actually making the first penalty unit the weaker power play. It used to be the opposite way around, because on the second penalty unit, you do have Leo Carlson, McTavish, Lacombe, Zegras, and Colangelo. From the mid-six, the only person who's on the unit up there is Alex Killorn. So great odds there, a lot of plus money. I would definitely be mix matching those there. If you're looking on the San Jose side, it's literally 4 players. Celebrini and Toffoli plus 116. You should definitely have better odds because Wenberg is more of a setup guy. So if you want to do, you don't even have to go Wenberg assist, even though that's probably what he's going to do. Wenberg at plus 122 with Will Smith just about even money is good at 203. You add Eklund, who's on the left side of that line, and you're looking at plus 282. Eklund and Will Smith combo plus 146. And like I said, Will Smith and Wenberg is plus 203. So there's options there. Just gotta wait for the morning skate. Like I said, I'm curious to see if they do switch some stuff together. And then of course, it's a good power play either way. Like I said, these are not great power play units at all, but it's worth mentioning that the lowest odds is plus 230. The highest odds in the power play is right under 500. You got Vetrano and Wenberg both at plus 470. Will Smith. So these are just guys that you got all the way up to 930, 945 to wait. I think the odds will still be there. They'll still be solid. But, there's just stuff that you just got to wait for. But, yeah, I feel today's a big power play day, guys. Like I said, should have started it off. I talked a little bit, and then I should have had a little bit more info on it. But, once again, out of the top 12, from 12th place all the way up, the highest penalty minutes and some bad penalty kills are here. Power plays are on the way. If not, I could go down one more because since they're at home and they're such a solid defensive team, they may rank, but the way Ottawa has been playing, they haven't been giving up that many penalties. So we could sink it down to 13. 13th, Ottawa, 629 minutes, 77.1 PK. San Jose is right on top of them with 632 minutes, 74.2 PK. Let's go up a couple spots. 10th, Anaheim, 643 minutes, 73.4% penalty kill. Let's go up to 8th, Montreal, 676 penalty minutes, 80.4 PK. But Montreal, notice how I didn't bring up anything about Florida power play. You can take Florida's power play, but Montreal is on the Ottawa tip, playing great and have not been giving up that many penalties. They have not. As I'm talking, I'll just slowly stroll these bets as you can take a look at them. Okay, so from 8th, we're going to go up to 5th. And basically, it's from 5th and on. 5th place, we got Utah. This is where we're getting into the 700 minutes. 710 minutes by Utah, 80% penalty kill. 4th place, Calgary, 716 minutes, 75% penalty kill. Florida, 80.6 penalty kill at 722 minutes, and their rate of penalty minutes are going up. Boston, you already know them, 757, 76.6, and the disappointing Buffalo Sabres, 780 minutes. You're 20 away from 800, and you're basically 23 minutes on top of Boston, who basically had first place. You just have to attack. I mean, it makes sense to have some Ottawa power play. 75.9% penalty kill. Other game that I didn't focus on, there's some good odds in that one. St. Louis, I think, is at home against Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the worst penalty kill because they're the only ones in the 60s. Detroit's penalty kill has now dropped to 68.5, so both penalty kills are solid with all that talent in the top 6 and a pieces of the third line. Be wary of that. But as I scroll here, probably one of my longest episodes, but definitely a good one. Hopefully you all enjoy the information. Take it into consideration for your bets tonight. I'm already fully loaded, ready to continue the hot streak from the weekend. And like I said, episodes today, episodes tomorrow, episode Thursday. I will take Friday off because I will be playing that 3-game slate. So there you go. I smell a lot of power plays. A lot of power plays. And with the power play odds the way they are, you hit half of them, you're up. So great odds tonight, great chances. And then, of course, there's some shot on goal props that I took. This is everything that I have all the way here. Let's make this money. I think all I got to do now, literally for myself, is add Calgary at Utah power plays for the Utah side. And like I said, I'm waiting for line confirmation from San Jose, Anaheim. Something tells me there's going to be some line juggling from either one of those teams, maybe both. So far, I was already right with the line juggling of the Capitals, which is why I waited. I was ready to get this show out by 11:30, 12 o'clock. Something told me to wait because Washington has been moving some stuff. And then look, not only did they move one of our bet props, Protas, down the line, he's now switched to the other side. So, but once again, the first thing I noticed that he's played well with Strowman, and Strowman's still his center. I'm good with that. This is your boy Grade A Fantasy with another episode of Grade A Power Plays. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you all enjoyed the information. Once again, use all that info and, like I said, let's cash it in tonight. I've done some episodes, but I've seen like maybe a couple of teams in the top 7, maybe 3 in the top 7, maybe the top 2 and stuff like that. But so many bad power play teams since I've been doing this. I don't think I've had this kind of lineup with all these horrible teams of horrible top. And none of these penalty kills are really good. Their penalty kills are right there at 80 for all the teams that are actually playing. 80 and then lower. So there are power plays to be had on both sides. This is your boy Grade A Fantasy. Thank you for tuning in once again. Good luck tonight, and I'm signing off.